Hi, and welcome to the Ask Dr. Angela show with everyone's favorite OBGYN, Dr. Angela Jones. Have you ever been just too embarrassed or shy to ask your own doctor a question about your, private stuff? Well, you have come to the right place to get straight answers. Feel free to ask Dr. Angela anything women's health related. OBGYN, she keeps it real. Pregnancy, she knows what you're expecting. Whole body health, just ask. Dr. Angela has you covered, girl. And now here is Dr. Angela.
What's good, people? This is Dr. Angela, everyone's self-proclaimed favorite OBGYN, and I would like to welcome you to episode 23 of the Ask Dr. Angela podcast. First of all, I want to start out by saying that the good Lord does indeed answer prayers, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm talking about. So here we go. I was supposed to take my little girl to Chuck E. Cheese's today, and I don't know about you, but I flipping hate Chuck E. Cheese. I mean, it's just a nightmare for me. It's so much stimuli, bells, whistles, screaming, crying kids all over the place, terrible pizza, terrible food, the whole thing. But my little girl still loves Chuck E. Cheese. So I had a great day today. I had a fabulous meeting with my editor for my upcoming pregnancy book. So I'm getting myself all pumped up to deal with just the craziness that happens at Chuck E. Cheese. So we're driving. We pull into the parking lot. I can't believe my eyes. The signage for Chuck E. Cheese has been taken down. And inside, I'm like, is this for real? Really? And so I look in my rearview mirror. I look at my daughter in the back seat, and I'm like, baby cakes. It looks like Chuck E. Cheese is closed. And she's like, Mommy, what are you talking about? And so I'm like, look, the sign's not there anymore. And so I'm like, well, I think we better, pull up and peek inside and just make sure that it's really closed. And so we drive up to the front of, what used to be Chuck E. Cheese. And sure enough, we look inside and it is like vacant. Nothing is there. And so deep inside, I'm doing cartwheels, backflips. I'm like, yes! I give like the Tiger Woods fist pump, but I, turn around and look at my daughter and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I can't believe Chuck E. Cheese is closed. And so she looks at me and she says, Mommy, we should have come yesterday. We should have gone to Chuck E. Cheese yesterday and then it wouldn't have been closed. So I said, perhaps you're right, but who knew? Who knew Chuck E. Cheese of all places was going to be closed? Second on the list was Monster Mini Golf. And so we went, I'm a huge golf fan. So mini golf is right up my alley. So we went to mini golf and then we played some old school games. We played like air hockey. My daughter won, of course, a bunch of video games. And so that was fantastic. So let's jump right into our question for the day. Our question is coming from ways away from my girl Chi in the Philippines. Chi, what do you have for us today?
Hi, good morning, Dr. Angela. This is Chi, and I live from the Philippines. Thank you very much for taking the time to reply to my message. I know you're a very busy person, but I don't want to take too much of your time, so let's get straight to the point. I've been taking Althea pills for quite some time now. I started 2010, and since then, I've never stopped drinking the pill. To make the story short, I had my last pill. I drank my last pill September 11, and I had my period on September 16, 5 days after taking the last pill. Althea pills has 7 pill-free days. I had my period during the 5th pill-free day. I'm supposed to take the first pill from my new pack last September 18 or 19, but because of my busy schedule, I forgot to buy the new pack. So yesterday, September 21, me and my boyfriend had contact, and my question is it safe or not? Since I'm late for the new pack. Actually, I bought the new pack yesterday as well and drank the first pill today, early morning at around 6 a.m. So, is it safe or not? I know my OB-GYN told me that I would be safe for a month after my period, but I'm not sure. So, I'm hoping for your reply. I hope this is not too long and I'm not wasting your time. Thank you very much and hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.
First of all, Chi, I would like to thank you so much for submitting this question. And I know that I recently featured a question on contraception on the Ask Dr. Angela podcast, but this really drives home a different point. The other thing that I want to say before I delve into responding to this is I love social media. Social media makes the world so much smaller. I mean, look at this. Chi is submitting a question all the way from the Philippines. And how Chi and I originally became connected is she connected with the Ask Dr. Angela Facebook page. And we've got followers from all over. I mean, Portugal, the Philippines, Chile, Colombia, just all over the place. So, Chi, thank you so much for finding me and then going the extra step and actually submitting this question via the podcast. The thing that I love about this podcast is that it certainly gives a voice, not just to women, but to people in general, specifically with regards to asking questions that you might otherwise think are dumb or just nonsense or are, frankly embarrassed to ask. The thing that I like about this question is that we all, at some point, have probably been on the birth control pill and have forgotten to take a pill. I mean, we're girls and just people in general, and it happens. So, Chi, this is how I'm going to respond to your query. First of all, my general rule of thumb when it comes to birth control pills is if you've missed more than 3 days in a row, I typically just recommend that you just chuck the pack and start a new pack with your next period. And here's why. When you start doubling and tripling up on pills, number one, the efficacy just goes right out the window or is greatly decreased. And the other thing is when you start doubling up and tripling up on pills, all that extra hormone, specifically the estrogen, makes you sick. I mean, it makes you feel really nauseous. Some people throw up. And who wants to do that? Not me. And I've certainly done it before. Once upon a time, used to be in the birth control pill and, miss days at a time and then try to take 2 and 3 pills to catch up. And I just felt miserable. So that leads me to my next point. When determining what type of contraception is going to be right for you, compliance, it has been, in my personal experience as a practicing OBGYN, compliance is the number one determining factor in deciding which pill or which type of contraception folks are going to take. So, say for instance, if you're not someone that can remember to take a pill every day, if you don't like to take a pill every day, the birth control pill is probably not going to be the best option for you. I mean, just plain and simple. So if compliance is an issue, you may want to consider things like the patch, which you change weekly, or the NuvaRing, which you insert vaginally. It stays in place for 3 weeks. Take it out week 4, get your period, boom, put a new one in. The IUD, which once we put it in, it can stay in place for 3, 5, or 10 years, depending on which one you get. Or something like the Depo shot. It's a shot every 3 months. So in a nutshell, Chi, there are lots of different recommendations with regards to what to do if you've missed a pill. Usually if you forget to take your pill one day, then you can take 2 pills the next day. And again, if you miss the pill for 2 days, then you can, double up on your pill for the next couple of days. Again, when you start doubling up, the increased hormone can make you feel not so great. And again, my general rule of thumb is if you've missed 3 pills in a row, my general recommendation, again, is just to wait until you get your next period, start your new pack with your next period. That's just kind of how I do things. And certainly, the other thing that I recommend to all of my women that are on oral contraception is to please, 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 please continue to use condoms because, again, it prevents you from getting the good stuff that's not good. And you guys know what I'm talking about. Chi, I hope that this has helped to shed some light on your situation and that you found this information helpful. I would like to personally thank you again for submitting your question all the way from the Philippines. And even though you're in the Philippines, we will still reach out to you and send you one of our bomb-ass t-shirts. So thank you so, so, so much again. For those of you who would like to have one of your questions featured on the Ask Dr. Angela podcast, please go to www.askdrangela, that's AskDrangela.com. Click on the microphone and then just do what you do. In closing, I'd like to leave you with this. The only feedback that matters is from the people in the arena getting their ass kicked alongside you. Thank you, courtesy of Brene Brown. Until next time, look better, feel better, be better. Can't wait to connect again in episode 24 of the Ask Dr. Angela podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Ask Dr. Angela podcast. For more information on women's health and the show notes for this episode, please visit Dr. Angela at www.askdrangela.com. While you're there, don't forget to leave your own message for Dr. Angela. See you soon! All of the information provided and discussed in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and should not take the place of consulting a physician. This podcast is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any diseases or illnesses and does not and should not replace treatment for a medical professional. Listening to and participating in this podcast does not create a doctor-patient relationship between you and Dr. Angela Jones. If you need medical advice or assistance, you should consult a physician. Listening to and participating in this podcast is subject to the terms and conditions posted at drangela.com/terms.